Well, thanks for that little bit of chaos. We needed that to figure out how we're getting on. We were running out of time in our warm-up this morning, and they had donuts back there for us, so we could either eat donuts or figure out how we were walking on. So we chose the donuts. So appreciate that opportunity. A little saddened that Todd isn't here this morning. I always like seeing my old friend Todd, and we go way back to Amsterdam, Holland, actually. We cleaned the same church about 30 years ago. We cleaned an old Mennonite church in Amsterdam, and so we've always had the same bond of a common memory. So we're happy to be here anyway. We're going to begin with, a good call to worship from Psalms 47. Clap your hands. Our next piece presents a little different emotion. It's called Pilgrim's Hymn. If I look back to my life when I was these people's age, a lot of my life was obsessed with answers and finding something I could latch onto and hook onto, some truth. As I get older, I've noticed a progression, one that allows me to be more comfortable in not knowing. And that's a different flavor of faith than I experienced at their age. Being comfortable with not knowing and enjoying the mystery and the journey. And this next piece touches on that. We're not offended if you don't clap for every piece. Don't feel you need to do that. Our next piece, you can turn to 329 in the blue hymnal and sing this one with us. We will sing the first verse in German, and, unless you want to. But on the repeat, we'll do it in English. There's actually two versions of this piece in the hymnal. This is the original music. It's a little more complicated, actually, than the newer version. You would think it'd be the other way around. But a couple hundred years after it was written, Felix Mendelssohn kind of dumbed down a lot of early Baroque music to make it a little more singable for the churches. When we think of Martin Luther, who wrote this piece, we often think of him as the great Protestant reformer, or the person who translated the Bible into German. But he was also a very competent musician, and one of his gifts that parallels his concept of the church being the priesthood of all believers, choral music really fits in with that. Whether the kids know it or not, they are ministering today. They're preaching. And when we sing congregational songs, that is a very radical and symbolic thing that everyone is participating in that act of worship. So please join us for A Mighty Fortress Is Our God, and I'll turn around and you'll know when to come in.
Großmacht und viel
Our next piece is called The Earth Adorned, and it's one I love singing in the springtime. As a lot of the text mentions, the grass, the birds singing, the flowers blooming, and it just makes sense to sing it at this time of year. Also parallels and subtly hints at our own life story of not only celebrating new growth, but the new growth is only made possible with the death of winter, right? I've really found meaning in this song recently. As over spring break, our family went to the Rocky Mountains to celebrate my niece's wedding. She's the last niece to get married, and it was just such a joyful spring moment, right? To be able to celebrate with her. The following week, my father passed away in southern Kansas. So I was juggling both spring and winter in my own life, and this song kind of just speaks to me, not about the dismal part of winter, but that is part of life and very necessary part to make spring happen. So this is The Earth Adorned.